This episode of the Local Hustlers podcast is brought to you by Pearson Moving. If you plan on moving in or out of the valley anytime soon, you have to check out Pearson Moving. They're licensed, insured, and they offer local and long-distance services. Go to movepearson.com to get your free quote today. Pearson Moving. Movers that won't break the bank or your stuff.
You're listening to the Local Hustlers Podcast, East Valley Locals. Get connected with small businesses near you and dive deep into their stories, mindset, and motives. Entrepreneurs everywhere. Get ready to be inspired by business owners, entrepreneurs, and hustlers that you can relate to and learn from. And now, your hosts, Dallin Huso and Ridge Waldberg.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Local Hustlers podcast. Ridge and I are super excited to be here this week with Kenzi Pearce of Kenzi Sweet Treats. How's it going, Kenzi?
Good. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
We're excited as well. Yeah.
Well, how about you take a couple of minutes, kind of go into a little background in your life story before you got into Sweet Treats.
Yeah. So I was born in California.
Oh, nice.
Moved
What
here,
part?
Northern Sacramento area.
Cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I lived there for about 15 years and then moved here. Been here ever since, just in Mesa.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 2 little boys.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they keep me very busy.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, 3 and 1. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your hands are full.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be down soon, so we're waiting for that.
Yeah.
Ridge will have me beat, I guarantee.
Yeah, no, they're so much fun though. They're a lot of fun, very energetic. But
That's awesome.
yeah, we actually just celebrated my 1-year-old's birthday this last week. So
Cool. Lots of cinnamon rolls?
we did lots of cake.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But my 3-year-old begs for cinnamon rolls all the time because he sees me baking them, and then he's like,
guy.
"Mommy, for me," and I'm like, "Sorry."
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah. I always have to make some extra for him.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, and then my husband's a PA for an orthopedic surgeon, so he works a lot, and that's kind of what got me doing this. Yeah. I just wanted something to do for myself, and something to be separate from being a mom and a wife, and I kind of gone back and forth of okay, what can I do? What skill do I have?
Right.
And then I just always grew up baking, and every Sunday I would bake cake, brownies, cinnamon rolls, cookies, all of it. And I'm really surprised that I just didn't gain all the weight, 'cause I was always eating all the sweets. But yeah, and so I was like, I can bake.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So yeah, I don't know. My life is pretty simple.
Cool.
That's cool.
So, I guess going back a bit, before you decided to get started, did you, have any jobs before this or go to school for anything?
Yeah, so I've actually done quite a bit. So during high school, I decided to do online school, and then I also did cosmetology school.
Oh, cool.
So then I graduated early and then did cosmetology. Decided it wasn't for me.
What part of it wasn't for you?
So I went into men's haircutting.
Okay.
Which I still kind of do on the side, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't like the atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
And then also hair.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It's horrible. So I enjoy going home itchy every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after I kind of decided I was done with that, my dad and my brother are both dentists, and they're like, come over to the dental side. And so I became a dental assistant. Yeah, and then I did that for 3 or 4 years. I did that all the way up until I got pregnant with my first.
Okay.
And then after I had him, I was able to stay home with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of have, I like to do a lot of different things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So So you've baked your whole life, and you wanted to start something, had a talent with it, obviously. Was there any part of you that was like, maybe I should just go work for someone and do baking? Or why did you decide on the entrepreneurial route of starting your own baking business?
Yeah, so my whole life, I knew that I wanted to be a mom. Yeah. And I knew that if I could, I wanted to stay home with my kids and, do that whole thing. So since having my first, I just was like, I don't want to go work outside of the house. Yeah. Because I am fortunate to stay home. Yeah. And so I was like, I want to be able to do something, but I want to be able to still be with my kids. Yeah. And so then my husband and my mom honestly were like, you know what, like, you're really good at this. Like, just go for it. Yeah. And really, like, what pushed me was, so, like, my husband had just graduated school, and we had, like, no money, of course, but I really wanted to go to Disneyland. And so he's like, all right, well, if you can earn the money, then we can go. And I said, all right, let's do it. Yeah. So I just decided right then and there, I was like, all right, I'm going to start this business. I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to earn the money. And I did. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Disneyland's a pretty good motivator. Right? I would do quite a bit just to get to Disneyland. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And my 3-year-old was like so excited to go. And it was awesome because we were able to do it like full out,
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was totally worth it.
And it probably felt pretty good to be like, okay, I paid for this. Like, this was all with my work. And so that probably, like, catapulted you into, like, just wanting to be better at it for, like, more opportunity.
Yeah, no, for sure. It felt really good to do it on my own. I mean, well, starting out, I definitely had, like, my mom's help. Yeah. Like, the first buyers were like her friends. She was awesome and like posted it on her page and stuff, and all of her friends were so sweet and like so supportive. So I definitely like owe a lot to them. But yeah, I mean, it felt really good. I was like, wow, like I did this on my own, like I made this money, like it felt so good. And I was like, let's keep going. Like at first it was really just like, I really just wanted to do it for Disneyland. And then I was like, maybe I'll stop because it was over the holidays. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to be able to become a thing. Yeah. Like, who wants cinnamon rolls on like a daily basis besides my family? But, but yeah, and I was like, let's just go for it. And it kind of just took off. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we ask like all our guests like what their advice is for getting started with the business. I think we just found the secret. Just you have to pay for a Disneyland trip.
Yeah, I think that's it.
You better get started if
someone
you want to go.
needs to tell you something that's like, okay, and then you'll just do it.
Yeah. No, my personality is like, when I have something in my mind that I really want to like do, I do it. Like I get it done, or I make it happen in any way possible. And so, like, once my husband said, okay, you can only go if you earn the money, I was like, all right, I'm going to do that, and it's going to happen. And I just was really lucky, and it did. Like, yeah.
Cool. And so at this point, you weren't like, oh, this is going to be like a business I'm going to keep doing. It was just like, well, I'll just do it for this, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was kind of just, let's do it for fun and earn some money. And then I was talking to my husband and my mom, and I was like, do you really think that this could turn into a thing? Like, maybe I'll just do it for fun on the side, like, just see what happens. And then I just, like, started an Instagram, and like I said, it started with, like, all of my mom's friends. And then I just started, like, adding random people. Like, I went into, like, their followers and added more people. And then I was like, wow, like, this is totally working. Like, I'm getting more and more orders. And so it's like, yeah, I don't even know what happened.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Have you, like, had anyone in your life that kind of, like, helped you with that? Helped you be like, if I want something, I'm going to go get it? Or is it kind of just come within you?
My parents.
Your parents,
yeah. My parents are definitely like that. Like, my mom is very go-getter. And so is my dad. Like, my dad has been amazing and has started, like, from nothing, and he's the dean of the dental school here. And so they've definitely taught me hard work, perseverance. Like, you can do anything you want to do, and they just have always been like my number one supporters.
That's awesome.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like following people on Instagram. Was there anything else you did to kind of get the word out there and spread the word that you were doing this?
Yeah. I kind of like went into Instagram and I went and looked for like the influencers.
Yeah.
And I just messaged them and I was like, hey, can I gift you some cinnamon rolls? Like, I bake homemade cinnamon rolls and do you want some? And I've got, like, I had a few answer back and like, I wasn't really doing it for like, okay, can you post it for me? Like, you know, I just was like, maybe if I give it to them, then like they'll tell some friends, but or like they'll want to buy more or whatever. Right. But yeah, and then they posted it, and I got more followers from that, and yeah, so that's cool. I would that, and then also like Instagram does ads, so I did that, and I would say that's probably the only two things really. Yeah, so I've just been really lucky with that.
That's cool. Okay, so I'm curious, what do you feel like has brought? I don't know if you have like tracked this or not, but what do you feel like has brought more business or just more attention, the influencers or paying for ads? Influencers. Yeah. So I mean, from the ads, like it tells you who, like how many people see it and how many people visit your profile. And like I had a bunch of people like see it and visit, but only like maybe one or two would follow. And then even then maybe one of them would order. Like I really didn't get a whole lot of orders from them. But like the influencers were definitely the ones that like got me the orders, got me the followers. Like probably because they are the influencers, you know, and people follow them to see what they like, what they want to buy, and then they're like, okay, yeah, I do it too. No, I think it's a great way to market, because like if you're just scrolling through social media and you just see an ad for something, most of the time, unless it really catches your attention, you'll just scroll past it and be like, whatever. And I'm also a big believer that like Facebook and Instagram ads can work, and you can find a lot of effectiveness within them. But if you see like this influencer that you really like and you really trust their opinion, and you see them posting about something, then that's really going to pique your interest. Like, oh, if they like this, I bet I would like it too. And then you're much more likely to purchase that or check it out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
In a world where we need to be ourselves, we also want to be other people. So we're like, it's hard. It's like we use those people because it's great, but it's like, be yourself. It's like, oh, I also like these people. But,
I mean, like, I get it. Like, you know, you see these people and you're like, wow, like their life is like so awesome and perfect. Like I want everything they have. Right. And like, you do have to be like, okay, wait a minute. Like that's not real life all the time. Yeah. But it's really nice because then you get to find awesome things. You get to find awesome like local businesses and you get to help support them and like, so I'm full on like, I'll follow them.
Yeah. It's true. They do have good things to say.
Yes.
It's very useful.
So is cinnamon rolls kind of like the main thing that you sell, or what other treats do you make and sell?
Yeah, so it started off as just cinnamon rolls, and then I went into cookies as well. So I do chocolate chip cookies. I do white chocolate macadamia cookies as well. Nice. Yes. Yeah. And I do like they're like the big, thick, like warm, gooey center cookies. Yeah.
So where did you, I guess, learn about like cinnamon rolls? Obviously, if you were going to just focus on cinnamon rolls, you had to have some experience with it.
Yeah. My mom, honestly. That's awesome. If you can't tell, I'm really close to my mom.
That's good.
It's like an old family recipe, and she taught me everything I know about it. And I like, when I first started, so like the process of making cinnamon rolls, it first took me 3 hours to make one batch.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which one batch is a dozen. Yeah. So it definitely like I put in a ton of hours doing it. Yeah. And like I don't know if you've like seen the pictures, but like on my Instagram you can kind of see where I started and like where I've come now, because I've definitely perfected them.
That's awesome.
Like I'm like, my husband's like, you should delete those old pictures. And I'm like, yeah, but like, don't people want to see where you came from?
Yeah,
like where you
kind of see the transition.
Yeah. Because I mean, definitely, they're so much better now. Like it's the same recipe. I've just learned how to make them better and make them bigger. Yeah. So it's been a fun ride, like learning and perfecting it and just really like getting my like niche for it, you know. Yeah.
Do you find that you've gotten a lot of repeat customers, or is it mostly just new people that continue to discover?
Yeah, I have quite a few repeats, and they've been like so awesome. They have been there from the beginning, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even know how you ate the first ones. Like, they're not, like, they taste really good, but like the eye, like appealing to the eye, they were not. In my opinion. Now I'm like, oh, they look so beautiful. But yeah, no, they've been awesome, and I've had one customer that I love her to death. She would like text me like late at night and be like, hey, do you have any? Can I come get some? I'm like, yeah, girl, come on over. Like, it's 11:30, but come on over. Yeah. So I've had a lot of those. I definitely like, I don't know, I like to just please my customers, you know. I will do what I need to make it happen. If you know, a late night pickup is best for them, I'll do that. If early morning's best, I'll do that. Like, whatever I need to do to make it work, I'll do it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you find that like certain holidays are better, or is it pretty consistent with people ordering cinnamon rolls?
So definitely like the holiday season, like fall season is definitely more busy. Especially like Christmas, Thanksgiving. Oh yeah. During the summer, it's been a little slower. Just like, I don't think people here in Arizona, they're out, you know, it's too hot.
Right. Everyone's on vacation.
So I definitely think that plays a role. And then also it's just like, I feel like people, you know, put together like cinnamon rolls and holidays. So, which is fine. I mean, I've still been busy. I mean, just in the last 2 days, I've had like 4 orders. Wow. Yeah. So it goes in waves, I would say, during the summer. Yeah.
So I'm curious, how many hours would you say that you put into this on like a daily or a weekly basis?
Yeah, so like I said, at first it took me like 3 hours to just make one batch, and I've been able to like get faster and like find little tricks to do it faster. So now I can make 2 dozen, and it takes me about like 2 hours.
Nice. That's not bad.
Yeah, so, and like in one night I could probably make 4 dozen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I do this all at nighttime while my kids are sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, like the most I'll do during the day is like bake them and frost them. Yeah. But I try to like make them all like, because you have to let them rise for an hour and all that. I try to do all of that process at night while they're sleeping.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, so does your husband ever say like, hey, spend some time with me?
You know, he has been the best. Like, he totally gets it. He has said that. Yeah. But he totally understands, like, that I just love this, and it just makes me happy. So, like, he's there to support me. And I know, like, on the way here, I called him. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was so nervous. And he's like, no, you got this. Like, you're going to do great. Yeah. Like, he's just the best. Yeah. So, yeah, he'll even help me sometimes. Like, usually, like, we'll watch a movie while I'm doing it. Yeah. Cool. So we spend some time together. And, but he'll, like, come over and help me if I'm like, okay, my hands are dirty. I need you to, like, grab something. Yeah. And so, yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so the reason I ask is so many people are, like, nervous to go all in on a business, and I think a lot of times it is what you need to do, but I don't think it's always the case. Like, you could also either be a full-time mom or have a full-time job, which being a mom is pretty much a full-time job, but you can, you know, start something as a side hustle like you've done and put just a couple hours in, you know, at night or whenever is the best time, and still have something that can be successful.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, for me in this stage of life, like, this is what's best for me and my family. So then I can still spend the time with them that I need to, you know, and my 3-year-old definitely likes the attention. So I have to make sure that I have that time for him, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would say that on a weekly basis, I probably am baking almost every night. Oh, if not, I have like maybe 2 or 3 nights off. Yeah. And it definitely depends on the week.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it keeps me busy, but I like that I can still do other things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize that a hustle or a side hustle doesn't have to be something that pays for a yacht. Like, it can also just be like your fun thing to like keep a little bit of money coming in. And
pay for Disneyland.
Pay for Disneyland. Like, get that churro while you're at Disneyland.
Right.
You know, buy that $6 like 24-ounce bottle of water.
Seriously.
Like, you know, so.
Yes. No, I mean, it definitely, like, me and my husband talked about it, and like, you know, we have his job money coming in, but then like this money is like more my fun money. Like if I want to do something with the kids or like for myself or whatever, or like we just bought a house last year. So like we're trying to fix things up and whatnot. So, you know, probably some of it will go to that. And so it's just kind of whatever I feel like I want to do with it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Working from home, is it hard to separate like home life from the business and, you know, being able to split the two apart?
Sometimes, yeah. Especially like, because I do get the orders coming in during the day.
Yeah.
So then, and it's all from my phone. Yeah. It's just all through Instagram. And so I will find myself being on my phone quite a bit sometimes. And then like earlier today, my 3-year-old was like, "Mommy, put it away." And I was like, "Oh, okay, my bad." Like,
whoops,
yeah. But, I mean, besides that, I wouldn't say that there's like any issue. Like I can split it off pretty well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's cool. Have you, I know you mentioned your parents have been a big help. Have you ever had any other mentors just along the way of getting started or just growing the business in general? I guess more on the entrepreneurship side.
I don't know. I don't like have a whole lot of like people that I know that have like been entrepreneurs. Yeah. I've just like, honestly, it's been seeing like the people on Instagram or like Facebook or, you know, like all these like big businesses that have like come from nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, like that would be really cool. Like you can be your own boss. Like you can do what you want with it. And I never thought like that was going to be me. Like, because I feel like, you know, it does take a lot to get there and to have the mindset and like be ready for that. So I just like, I never thought like, okay, yeah, like I can do that. I can take the time and like everything or even have an idea of what to do, you know? I don't know. I always was like, I'm going to be a mom. I'm going to be a wife. That's it. That's all I want to do with my life. Like, and I love it. I do love doing that. But yeah, I decided, okay, you know what? Let's do it. And I'm definitely one, like, when I have an idea in my head, I'm like, now. No looking back.
Right.
Like,
that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
But I don't know. I would say, my parents are definitely, like, the biggest.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, what would be your advice to someone that, like, might be a little too scared or, like, might be scared when someone says you have to pay for Disneyland and they're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that. What would be your advice to them to like kind of get going or just doing it?
Just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's just always been my thing. Like I don't think twice. Like I think if you think twice about it, then you're going to psych yourself out and then you're not going to do it. And so you really have to just be like, no, I'm going to do this. It's going to happen. If I fail, I fail. If I succeed, then awesome, you know? But like, you just have to go for it and never look back.
That's cool. What's your favorite part of the whole experience of owning business and being an entrepreneur?
So my favorite part, like, I love doing giveaways or just like gifting people. Yeah. And I love making people happy. And I love making them smile and just all of that. And I love that I can have that opportunity to do that. And so, I mean, like, you'll see, you know, I do lots of giveaways. I do lots of discounts. I feel like, you know, it's my way of bringing happiness to the world.
Yeah.
And it might be something small, but at least I can do it, you know? Like, yeah, that's definitely my favorite part.
That's cool. So with everything going on recently, COVID, lockdowns, has that had much of an effect on you in the business?
Honestly, it's actually, I feel like growing my business. And, you know, I put it out there. Like, I'm very clean. I'm very OCD. So my house is like spotless all the time. Yeah. And I take my precautions, you know, and I put that out there. And at first, like when this first all came out, I was doing, you know, no contact pickup and all of that. So I think that kind of like intrigued people, and like they were stuck at home, and probably finding something to like get out of the house was like really awesome for them. I was really surprised because I totally thought it was going to like kill my business, and it just like helped it grow.
Well, and if a cinnamon roll doesn't make you happy, you need to do some soul searching, because
there's nothing like a warm cinnamon roll.
It's true. That is true.
It's crazy. Yeah, once again, we've said it a couple of times recently, but it's crazy how many we looked at each other and smiled when you said that, because so many businesses we've talked to have figured out how to make their business thrive and grow throughout all this.
Yeah. I feel like people too see that, like they see that the small businesses need the help, and they're so willing to like jump up and help, which is amazing. And I know, like, I mean, I'm super grateful for it, and I'm sure, you know, every other small business is super grateful.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. Obviously, there's a couple different options people have out, even local, to get cinnamon rolls or cookies or other treats. So what do you feel like makes you stand out, makes you different from everyone else?
So I mean, I've seen like a lot of like storefronts with like cinnamon rolls, and I would say like mine's homemade, you know, it's made in my home. It's like fresh. It hasn't been sitting out for a day or two, you know, like, and what I love about my cinnamon rolls, like, I don't want to sound like, you know, conceited.
Yeah, no, brag.
It's the time.
But like, what I love about them is like, they are like not super, super gooey in the middle. Like they are, like when they're fresh out of the oven, they are warm and they are that gooey. But like, I don't like biting into like raw dough.
It's like completely raw and just falling out. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not. Honestly, like, I don't want to take shots at anyone, but I'm not the biggest Cinnabon guy, because they're too gooey for me. But.
Well, like, I feel like with, like, that company, I feel like I've always had a stomach ache after. And with this, like, I'll be honest, I can eat, like, 3-4 of them, and I have done that in one sitting.
I respect it.
And I don't feel sick after. Like, I don't know. But I definitely have a big sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. Well, Ridge, do you think we should put this claim to the test?
I smell mine right now. And so my two favorite desserts are cinnamon rolls and ice cream. Not together, but separately. Cinnamon rolls and ice cream. And so I think we need to try this out.
So we've got two right in front of us.
Yep. I wish people could see.
Yeah, it's almost 6 o'clock and I haven't had dinner yet. So this is...
There you go.
Oh,
so I'm starving.
That smell is...
Yeah, that's like the worst part about making them in my house is the smell. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these smell so good. I want to eat them all.
So we've always wanted to do a live taste test on air. So
you're our first one.
Here's the first.
Oh, awesome.
All right, should we go for it? No, Ridge already beat me to it.
Good.
Oh, yeah. That is incredible.
So I need one more bite before I say anything.
Definitely a 5-star review over here.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And these are sugar-free, right? No, just kidding.
I do have gluten-free.
Oh, really?
Do you?
Yes.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to get in. So what are your options, and what, like, if someone wants to come to you for baked goods, what can they get?
Yeah, so I offer, I'll go with like the how many you can get first. So I offer single, half dozen, and dozen. And then of course, if like you are doing like a party or something, I do cater, and we can get into like how many you need and pricing of that. And then I offer just the regular cinnamon rolls, and I offer gluten-free, which it's the same recipe. It's just no gluten in it. So awesome. Honestly, in my opinion, because I've had to taste test it, you know, they taste the same as my regular. And that's what I've heard from my customers as well. Like, because I'm not gluten-free, but... So I'm like, I don't really know like what's out there that's gluten-free, but all of my gluten-free customers have always been like, these are the best gluten-free that I've had. Like,
really?
Yeah, they've all said, like, it's so hard to find good gluten-free baked goods. And that's honestly what got me to make the gluten-free, was because I had so many people, like, messaging me, do you do gluten-free? And I was like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't. Like, and I was nervous. I was so scared to do it because I was like, what if these don't, like, turn out?
Right,
and, like,
you want it to be good quality.
Yeah, and, like, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it.
Yeah.
Like, I had this one mom message me, and her daughter are gluten-free, and I was like, I want to do this for her daughter. Like, I felt so bad, and I was like, I'm just going to do it, and I tasted it. I was like, wow, okay, like, it's pretty good. Like, yeah, I did good. It is a different consistency, and they don't spread out as much, so they're not, like, as big. But I definitely, like, you still get your, like, money's worth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I offer gluten-free, and then I also offer cookies, chocolate chip cookies, macadamia nut cookies. I offer large and small. So, like, there's still, even the small ones are still, like, the thick ones.
Nice.
They're just a little bit smaller.
I saw that in your Instagram. They look really good in it. It's like, it's a good look too. So
Yeah, thanks. I need to get pictures of them up. But
yeah, I loved it. So it was like you said, it was soft and, like, melted in the middle, but it wasn't like too gooey, like slimy gooey. So
yeah,
and it just wasn't like overly sweet either, which, like, when you want sweets, like, obviously you want sweet, but like, yeah.
You don't want to have, like, one bite and then be like,
and
ooh,
you're
I
like,
can't
whoa,
have
I need a glass of milk or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you definitely, like, the bread part of it isn't so sweet, but, like, you definitely get more of the sweetness from the icing.
yeah, the icing's great.
Yeah, which I do. I only do the buttercream icing.
Oh, cool.
So I don't do the cream cheese frosting on it. Yeah.
Huh.
Which I've had people ask about it, but I just feel like that's just too many options of doing.
Just keeping it simple.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? This is what your option is. This is what you get. Here you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So you mentioned that you'll cater as well. Is there one versus the other that, like, you like to focus on, whether it's catering or just people picking up? Is, like, one make more money, or is it more just about you just making the cookies or making the cinnamon rolls? It doesn't really matter.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like, for me though, I always do pick up. Like, the only times that I've really delivered is, like, doing the influencers, you know, like, I feel like I need to take it to them. Because I am gifting them. But, like, I do only offer pickup just because I can't really do all of that, like, drive everywhere with my 2 kids. That's not fun, being stuck in the car with them. So even for, like, catering, it really is, like, just big orders. Like, so if you have a big order that you're wanting to do, like, baby shower, birthday party, like, wedding, whatever, I'll fill the order, but you do have to come pick it up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you spend more time cleaning your pool than you spend swimming in it? Then call Flamingo Pools today. Flamingo Pools is your go-to swimming pool maintenance and repair company in the East Valley. Whether it's weekly maintenance, repairs, green to cleans, or one-time cleanings, Flamingo Pools will take care of you. Honest, reliable, and innovative. Just a few of the many good things Flamingo Pools customers have to say about them. Ask them about their mineral treatment, which will keep your chemical levels down, allowing you to have a healthier bathing experience. At Flamingo Pools, they know that your pool was made to be enjoyed, so let them handle the rest. Check them out at azflamingopools.com or give them a call at 480-422-6013. Mention this podcast and you'll get your first month of maintenance completely free. That's azflamingopools.com and 480-422-6013.
Let's say it just continues to grow, which obviously we hope it does. Are you going to try to, like, hold off business and be like, hey, you know, I've got to keep this at where it is with my family? Or do you have, you know, goals and aspirations to continue to grow this?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like, my husband's asked me that so many times. And my answer for it, like, he's like, okay, so, you know, how many followers do you want on Instagram?
Yeah.
Like, what's the, you know, how many do you want? And then that's enough. And right now I'm like, you know, get it to like 1,000. That would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I feel like I could still do that. And you know, like, I feel like as my kids get older, it'll be easier for me to grow my business once they're in school and I have more time. So yeah, I'm definitely fine with it growing. I would love for it to grow more. I absolutely love doing this. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time and seeing where it goes. And just wherever it does go, I'm totally fine with it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's important. You don't have to have like this 10, 20-year business plan and wait until you have that to get started. Like, you can just get started and roll with it and then see, you know, like, oh, I'll start to grow it. And if you like that, you keep going with it. But if not, you pull back and you don't have to. So
yeah, which is so funny because usually I'm such a planner. And like, I live by like a schedule. Like, that's makes me happy. But with this, like, I just like, I'm kind of whatever, you know, let's just roll with it, see what happens. And if I go on to like own a storefront, that'd be so awesome. But I definitely would see like, that's probably going to be years down the road.
For sure.
For right now, I just love being able to do it out of my house.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I asked earlier what your favorite part was about all this. So I forgot to ask, what then is your least favorite part? Or is there any part of running the business that you just absolutely don't like, that you wish, you know, you just didn't have to deal with?
Honestly, like, I don't get as much sleep as I used to. And so like, that's probably the downfall. Like, I'm always like so tired. But again, like, I'm just grateful that I can even do this. But yeah, so because I do it all at night, sometimes I'll be up until midnight, 12:30, even 1. There's been a couple times, like just this week I was up until like 1 in the morning.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so and then my kids wake up at well, it depends. Sometimes it's 5:30 in the morning, sometimes 6, 7,
yeah. So going to bed late doesn't mean you get to sleep in then,
No,
right?
no. And my husband's awesome and will let me sleep in sometimes on the weekend, but even he's super tired because, you know, he's working like 89 hours a week sometimes. Yeah. So, yeah, we're both just exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I'm just, even though I'm tired, I'm just so grateful.
Yeah. Making memories, having fun, and
yes.
But that's the good thing when you're doing something that like you love, and you have to obviously make sacrifices, whether it's, you know, time, money, sleep. But if you love it like you do, like, you can look back and enjoy it and be like, this is worth it because I enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it really is. And it is so fun just seeing, like, how happy people are, and it's so fun getting, like, the reviews from people, and every time, like, I'll get, like, a comment back from someone, like, that's like, oh, I love these so much, like, thank you. I'm like, oh my gosh, yay, like, I, like, go, like, call my mom, call my husband, like, so I definitely, it's all worth it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, they're great, so... You need a lot of good reviews because these are really good.
Thank
so,
you.
Well, is there anything else like you'd like to say to somebody that is, you know, just getting started, or
even someone that's
already in it,
already in business,
already doing their stuff?
I mean, I would say, like, even when it gets hard, to just like keep going and just find different things that like can work for you. I mean, like I said, you know, sometimes it's a little slower and sometimes it's super busy. And in the slower times, like, sometimes I do get like a little down and I'm like, dang it, like, you know, is this not gonna like keep going? Like, what's happening? And then I'm like, you know what, like, what can I do to get them out there more? And so then, like, you know, I'll go and I'll message more influencers, or, you know, like, even on Facebook, I'm a part of like a bunch of Facebook groups, and especially like all the mom groups, and they are always posting, you know, like, oh, what's your small business, or, you know, like, what small business can I like help out? And you know, you have to be like the first one on there, you know. And so like sometimes I will just sit through and like scroll through all of these groups and find those like comments and stuff, and I'm the first one on to like comment it. And you just have to keep promoting and just find different things that you can like get yourself out there and just know, like, I don't know, for me, I'm like, you know what, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, this is fun for me, and I'm trying not to take it like too seriously. And I feel like, you know, if you love what you do, it's gonna be fun, and you just have to keep making it fun. Don't get too stressed out. Like, which is a lot for me to say because I do get stressed out. But yeah, I mean, I would say just have fun with it. Just keep going. Find different things. Yeah,
but I'm sure it does take away some of the stress, just having the mindset of if it works, it works. If not, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, like, I do have to remind myself of that because I am a perfectionist and I want every cinnamon roll like to be perfect, you know. I don't want to like let people have subpar stuff, you know. And like there's been a time that I had like a huge order. I think it was like Father's Day or something, and I had to make, I think it was like 14 dozen. And mind you, I had just gotten back from California 3 days before, so I had to make all of these cinnamon rolls in the 3 days. And so I like hurried up and got it, and then I went to bake some, and some of them didn't turn out. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, I can't, like, they were fine, like, but they were not perfect. And I was like, I cannot send these out looking like this. So, and this was, I think, 3 hours before people were coming to pick up.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to make a whole new batch right now, and I'm going to get this done. And so I did. Like, I was like, I can't let this go out. So I'm just going to have to do what I have to do and get it done. And my husband was awesome. It took the kids and let me do my thing, and I cranked it out, and people would never know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's like, what, 168
That's a lot.
cinnamon rolls. That's a ton. That's
awesome.
That's even better math for you.
Well, I did it on my phone. That's why I was looking at.
Well, I like how you mentioned the ups and downs, because sometimes I think we think like of the snowball effect, where we just do something at the beginning and then it just snowballs from there, which sometimes it does happen, and that's great. But like sometimes, you know, you're doing good for a while and then it goes back down, and then you have to put in a bunch of effort again, like you said, like going on the Facebook groups, reaching back out to influencers, and then getting things rolling again. And then you might be up and down, and it's just a life of running a business and being an entrepreneur. It's not always up and up and up.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, just like this last week, it was kind of slower, and or even like, I think it's like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, you know what, like, I need to change something. Yeah. And so at first, I was just doing all like the pictures of my product for myself. Yeah. And I was like, you know what, these are not doing them justice. Like, I am not a photographer. So I reached out, and I, like, on Facebook, I reached out to one of my groups, and I was like, hey, anyone want to trade with me? Like, anyone want some free cinnamon rolls and cookies, and you can take some pictures of them, and we'll just keep the trade going. Nice. And I was able to get a couple of photographers that were interested. Awesome. Yeah,
that's cool.
Ever since I changed the pictures, I've been getting a lot more response.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, never going back to my pictures.
Well, it's crazy how much a good photo will do for you on Instagram.
Oh, seriously. Yeah. So I've been super grateful for them, and I always give them their credit. But yeah, so I definitely feel like, you know, you just have to find the different things. Like, I found that, you know, like, it was slow, and I saw, okay, what can I change? And I changed that, and bam.
Yeah. Like, and you're able to just use, like, you didn't have to pay for it. You just use your service to trade for another service. And there's so many business owners that you can kind of barter with and network with to help each other out like that.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm totally like, I'll pay you, you know?
Right.
I will. But I was like, you know, like, I have this. And like,
might as well offer, right?
Yeah, who doesn't want free cinnamon rolls and cookies? So it's like, I'll offer it, see if they take it up. If not, then I'll pay someone. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's all about the angles. All about the angles in the lens. So you need to start working on that. But
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, an iPhone camera does not do justice compared to one of those, like, professional cameras.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, it has been super fun and super awesome to learn about the business and taste the incredible product that you produce. We are actually going to play a fun game, though, as we wrap it up here.
Okay.
And we are just going to do rapid fire questions. So no pressure.
Okay.
Just super fun, like questions about you, business, things like that. 60 seconds, and we're just going to hit you with as many as we can.
Okay.
So let's pull up the questions here.
Cool. All right, well, Ridge will start us off in 3, 2, 1.
Dream vacation.
Samoa.
First thing you'd buy if you won $1 million.
A big house.
Nice. Favorite hobby.
Swimming.
If there was an Olympic for everyday activities, which activity would you have a good chance at winning a medal in?
Being a mom.
Nice. Song that you've been jamming to lately.
The Demi Lovato, I Love Me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you lived to be 100, would you rather have the mind or the body of your prime self?
Body.
Favorite holiday.
Christmas.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip from Baskin Robbins.
Nice. Favorite fictional character.
Mickey Mouse.
Nice.
Favorite smell?
Cinnamon rolls.
Nice. What's your nickname?
Kenzi.
Nice.
Pet peeve?
When people don't show up on time.
Nice.
And for some reason it didn't make any noise, but the time ran out right after.
Nice.
That, so.
All right. Perfect.
Nice. We got...
Was that 12?
12. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. You're second on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
So.
We've got a couple at 13. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, super fun. Like we said, thanks again for coming on.
Mm-hmm.
We really love having businesses of all different types, whether it's, people that have multiple locations, tons of employees, to people like you with just a side hustle. I think it's super inspiring for people to listen that, hey, like anyone can do this. Anyone with a dream and a talent can get something started. And it doesn't have to be this huge thing. You don't have to quit your job or go all in on something to make it work. I mean, you can, and it works for some people, but sometimes the best thing for you and your family situation is just to have a little side hustle and brings a little joy and a little extra money. Why not? Why not give it a try?
Yeah,
and it brings your favorite smell into your house. So why not have it?
Yeah. So it's a win-win situation.
Yes.
So why don't you, before we close up, let our listeners know where they can find you if they want a couple of cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, so I just do it all off of Instagram. So my Instagram is sweettreats_by Kenzi.
Cool.
Yeah, and you just place your order through there and see all my pictures.
Cinnamon rolls, cookies,
Yes.
all the goodies.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, thanks again, Kenzi.
Thank
It's been
you.
super fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, we'll catch y'all next week.